9,000 children died at brutally misogynistic homes for unmarried mothers in Ireland.
Here's a summary of the article.
Unmarried mothers in Ireland faced a brutally misogynistic culture. For decades, a minister has said after the publication of a report into the deaths of 9,000 children and babies. A 5-year investigation by a judicial commission of investigation details how the children died at 18 institutions for unmarried mothers and their babies between 1922 and 1998. Children's Minister Roderick O'Gorman said the report, which contains 53 government recommendations, makes clear that unmarried mothers faced a stifling, oppressive and brutally misogynistic culture for decades. There were about 56,000 unmarried mothers and about 57,000 children in the mother and baby homes investigated by the Commission. The Commission said, while mother and baby homes were not a peculiarly Irish phenomenon, the proportion of Irish unmarried mothers who were admitted to mother and baby homes or county homes in the 20th century was probably the highest in the world. Speaking to Sky News at the Tuam site, where the children's remains lie below a memorial garden, Ms. Corliss said that so many children died due to the attitudes towards unmarried mothers and their babies at the time. In the 1930s and 1940s, over 40% of children in the homes died before their first birthday, the Commission found.
This post received a score of 26,000, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Sounds more like a dog kennel where if they aren't sold they get put down. Catherine Corliss is a true hero in my eyes. Everyone should read this New York Times article from a few years ago about her investigation into the missing children in Tuam and the discovery of the mass graves. It's long but worth it.
I've long held the opinion that civilization does not respect children the way they deserve. So often it seems, children are seen as burden, or a resource to be exploited.
Childhood is a societal invention, and a recent one.
Strangely enough, it was mostly due to Charles Dickens' writings that the idea of childhood began to take hold in the public's eye.
The invention of childhood and the subsequent invention of public school are two interesting things nobody talks about.
Can someone point me in the direction where they do talk about it?
Here's a start. I've seen a few other mentions but can't find them right now. I recommend looking into it.
Here's footage of a very brave man, Michael O'Brien, confronting a member of government on air about the abuse he endured. Edit. Transcript available here for those who have difficulty with his accent.
Such a powerful clip.
He's probably a national hero now, or should be.
Sinead O'Connor has entered the chat. She took a lot of heat for how she chose to rail against this back in '92.
I only just found out why she ripped up the Pope's photo all those years ago. All that outage of what she did and nobody spoke about why. We all should have listened. Listening would require you to accept that the thing you put on a pedestal is deserving of being torn and burned to the ground for protecting rapists, child molesters, and having exploited people for centuries as a means of gaining and maintaining power. People would rather accept an easy lie than a harsh and more complicated truth. And yes, there are people who are Catholic who are honest and truly good people. Unfortunately, the poison is deep and well-rooted.
Church created an intense culture of respect by fear in Ireland for several decades. They still have a hand in most schools here to this day, so are still a bit untouchable. It wasn't easy for people to accept that the institution that sometimes played the biggest role in their life was rotten to the core.
For Ireland, a place that is very much predominantly religious and very Catholic at that for so long, the church is ingrained everywhere in everything. This is where the complicated truth comes into play. For someone who identifies as Catholic, and the Catholic Church being on a pedestal, an attack on one is an attack on the other and is very much translated into an attack on self, no matter what. It takes a lot of subtle changes and pressures and information revealed to break that wall.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.